So today we'll start with
Mhm.
approval process first, and then we'll jump to flow. So
Okay.
yeah, and that sales that I'll cover that later. So we are left with three things. One is introduction to sales, then
Mhm.
approval process and flows. So
Okay.
approval process, let's start with approval process. So my
Mhm.
requirement is like, let's say if there is a patient and I am making
Right.
that inactive.
Okay.
There is a approval mechanism that if you are marking a patient as inactive, that should be gone for approval to the higher management. They will go
Right.
through the details that, okay, is this the valid scenario of making the user inactive? Inactive can be due to any reason, like he has not paid the dues or some
Mhm.
other XYZ factor. So management will review the case, and if they approve that, then this
Mhm.
checkbox will be automatically checked, and then
There is.
only it
Okay.
will be. Come again, please.
No, no, I got it. I was just checking where that box was.
Yeah. So then only it will be a valid inactive patient. Otherwise, if the status is inactive and it is not approved, that means it's not approved by the management and it's still not inactive. So my
Okay.
requirement is, if I make this inactive,
Mhm.
if I'll mark myself as approver, I'll approve that inactivity. As soon as I'll approve that inactivity, this checkbox will be automatically checked. So this is my scenario. So any
Okay.
issue?
So only when that box is checked, it means that the user is confirmed as inactive, right?
Right, right, right. So
Okay.
that is what I need to set up a approval mechanism.
Okay.
So let's go to approval process.
Hmm.
So there is a button with the help of which we submit for approval. So let's add that button first, or we can add that later. So let's search for approval process.
Mm-hmm.
Click on approval process. Search for object patient detail. Click on create new approval process. There are two options. One is use jump start wizard. Second is standard setup wizard. So what is the
Mm-hmm.
difference between the two? In standard setup, the configuration that we are doing in multi-screen mechanism. In the jump start, we can do that in like minimum screens. So it's up to you. Otherwise, the options are pretty same. You can go with jump start or you can go with a standard setup, but jump start is somewhat faster way to create a approval process. So let's
Okay.
click on jump start. Mostly I use jump start. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
you can use like any of them. So let's give some meaningful name. Approve inactivity. Let's give some meaningful name. So what is the criteria? Status equals inactive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the status is inactive for a patient detail, it should be automatically assigned to me for approval. So let me add myself as an approver and click
Okay.
on save. So I am adding
Save.
myself as approver
Okay.
because I don't have multiple users. So let me add myself as approver.
Mm-hmm.
So once you provide all these details, there is final approval action. So let's say my one of my agent has marked the patient status as inactive, and now
Mm-hmm.
record is for my approval. I am someone from higher management. I mark it approve that okay, it's the perfect case. As soon as I approve, what should be done? So the checkbox should be checked, right? So in the final approval action, I will define field update.
Mm-hmm.
In the final approval action, click on field update. This is the expectation, right? So as soon as I
Right.
approve, the records checkbox inactivity approved should be checked. So this is check inactivity. Which checkbox inactivity approved and what should be
Right.
the desired value? True, right?
True. Mm-hmm.
Click on save and mark this as active. Currently it is inactive. Activate this approval process. It's very straightforward, very easy. So we have configured a approval process. I have provided the criteria. Then I have provided the approval action, field update. So now, and I am the approver. So let's test this now. But any issues?
No. See,
Huh?
it says patient detail status equals active. It should be status equals
Right,
inactive.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me deactivate. Yeah, by mistake. Yeah, good
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it should be
Yeah.
inactive.
Inactive. Yep. So this is also automated, right? So whenever the status changes into inactive, automatically this will happen.
No. So let's now let's add the submit for approval button. So what agent will do, he will mark the status as inactive, then
Mm-hmm.
he will click that button, submit for approval. So let me demonstrate that to you. So on both the layouts, let me add that button, submit for approval.
Okay.
So there is a button called submit for approval.
Okay.
Let me add this on other layout as well, non-marketing. Let me refresh this. So let's say an agent has marked the status as inactive. So this button
Mm-hmm.
is, so let me mark the status as inactive, click save. Now
Mm-hmm.
it will not automatically be submitted for approval. You have to submit it for approval from here. Click on submit
Okay.
for approval.
Okay.
Please. So I will add some comments. Please approve inactivity due to, let's say, non-billing,
Okay.
and click on submit.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I have submitted, it will go to the approver. So who is the approver? I am
You.
the approver,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so there is a tab called approval request.
So,
You have to
Sumit,
click on, uh-huh,
yeah, one question. So whenever you click this, submit for approval button,
mhm.
it'll automatically go and check if there is a approver for this object.
Right. So it will automatically go to the approval process. So here the
Okay.
approval process, this approval process satisfies the criteria and it will
Okay.
automatically be submitted to the approver, right?
Okay. So let's just say, we have not yet added an approver. So in that case, if I click that button, will it give an error?
No, but it will not go for any approval. So I'll also let you know how to verify whether it has been gone for approval or not
Oh,
from
okay.
the
Okay.
approval history. So
Okay.
let me cover that. So as soon
Mhm.
as agent has submitted for approval, it will go to approver. Let's search for, in this case, I am the approver, so it will go to me. So here we have test insert. Let
Mhm.
me click on this. These are the two items pending in my queue to approve. So this is the test insert, right? So please
Mhm.
approve inactivity. This is my comment. In actual case, the two users will be different. The one who is submitting and the one who is approving, right?
Approving. Yes, yes. Yeah.
So now I will approve this.
Okay.
I'll add some comments. Okay, approved. 9 Jan, approved.
Okay.
So now I have approved this. So what is the expectation? That checkbox should be checked automatically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me go to the record. This checkbox is checked
Mm-hmm.
automatically.
Mm-hmm.
So how to see whether the record is gone for approval or not? So there is a related list called approval history. So if you can see here, it was submitted at 7:08. It was approved at 7:10. If no approval process is there, it will show 0 records.
Okay.
So from here, we can verify whether the record is submitted for approval or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So any issues?
No.
Mhm.
And how did you go to that, a page where you actually approved?
It was from approval request.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Approval request.
Okay.
So just practice this from your side. Approval process is very, I would say, a small topic. So
Mm-hmm.
this was the use case for approval. Uh, let's jump to the next topic, that is flow. So
Okay.
we will cover some scenarios of flow today, some scenarios tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a very basic scenario that if I am creating a patient and
Mm-hmm.
status is active, I
Mm-hmm.
want source to be set as direct automatically.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this I will do with the help of two different flows. So I have mainly, let's see the types of flow. So we have mainly four type of flow. One is auto launch, one is screen, one is record triggered, and then we have scheduled. So let's start with record triggered. Record trigger means once the record is created or updated or deleted, the way our workflow and process builder work. So it's
Mm-hmm.
the type of flow. If I need to do some action on the record creation, updation, deletion, I'll go with record triggered, right?
Okay.
If I need to call a flow from process builder or Apex, I will go with auto launch. Call flow from process builder or Apex class. I will go with auto launch.
Mm-hmm.
Screen means I am designing a basic screen with the help of flow. Let's say rating for a doctor or something like that. That is the use case for tomorrow. There I'll demonstrate the screen triggered flow. And fourth is scheduled flow. So if I want flow to run automatically without user intervention at a particular time daily, I will
Mm-hmm.
go with scheduled triggered. So my first scenario is record triggered. Why I am going with record triggered? I am updating a record, and as a consequence of that, I want some reaction, right? Some action to be done. I am making status as active, and I want source as direct. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with record triggered, right?
Right.
So let's go with record triggered. Let's search for flows. Very, I would say, easy, very straightforward, and very powerful tool. Flow is, I would say. So we'll see a couple of scenarios of flow, like screen flow, auto launch. Then we will see the record triggered, the one that we are doing as of now. So it will show us a screen. There I'll select the record triggered. So select the record triggered flow, click
Mm-hmm.
on create. So my object is patient detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want the flow to be triggered when the record is updated, right?
Yeah.
So click on a record is updated. What is the entry condition? What is the criteria? If the status is,
When status is active.
so yeah, sorry for that. So this scenario is when the record is created. When the record is created, I am setting status as active. I want source as direct.
Yeah.
So when the record is created, condition is when status equals active,
Active. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we have two options. Either I can go with fast field updates or I can go with actions and related records. So fast
Mm-hmm.
field update means I am updating the field on the same record. Action and
Right.
related related record means I am doing something on the related records or I am doing some action like send an email. So I'll go with fast
Okay.
field update or action and related records.
Fast field, right?
Fast field, right.
Yeah.
And click done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when this will happen, I want a field update, right? I want
Yeah.
source to be set as direct.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, I will use this assignment logic. I want to set source as direct. So logically, it's an assignment, right? I am
Right.
assigning direct value to the source.
Mm-hmm.
So drag this and drop here. Name, give some meaningful name, set source.
Mm-hmm.
We need to set the value of source for the record. So here we have record, dollar
Mm-hmm.
record. That means the record that is in the context. Dollar
Yeah.
record dot source equal to direct. Dollar
Okay.
record dot source equals direct. And just link this and we are done.
Oh, okay.
Click on save. Isn't it the straightforward even then process builder and workflow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So set source for active patients. So let's verify the scenario. Let
Mm-hmm.
me create a record where source status is active, and I want source as direct, right? Test flow membership ID can be 1234. Status is active. Email can be test at the rate. So source should be set as direct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click save. Source is direct. So same thing
Okay.
you can do with the help of workflow, process builder, but flow is the future. So we should be
So,
knowing that how we can do this with the help of flow as well, right?
yeah, just one quick question,
Uh-huh.
Sumant. So let's say while creating that record, I'm choosing source as um, something else and not
Mm-hmm.
direct.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I choose some other value, it will automatically change into direct?
It will automatically change to direct, right? Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is the scenario that I have accomplished with the help of record triggered. But
Good,
I
yeah.
can use it with the help, I can do it with the help of auto launch as well. So
Mm-hmm.
the same requirement now I'll do with the help of auto launch. So how I will do, let's understand the design. So I'll be creating a process builder. In the process builder, the criteria would be status is active. If status is active, my process builder will call the flow. It will send the ID of this record to flow. ID will be sent to flow. and flow will now update the record. Flow will get record with the help of ID and update record. Why I am taking this scenario? I want you to understand how we can link process builder to flow. So design
Okay.
is clear. Process builder will fetch the records where status is active. It will now fetch the ID of record and send that to flow. Flow will do the remaining process. Flow will now fetch the record and update it.
But why do we need that? We already have the flow, right?
Yeah, but if we need to understand the linkage between process builder and flow, so I'll deactivate this
Okay.
existing flow. I'll now
Okay.
create do the same thing with the help of combination of process builder and flow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I need to call flow from process builder. So
Mm-hmm.
which part should be the I'll be implementing first? Logically think flow or process builder.
Mm, such a flow. Maybe
Process,
flow?
yeah, process builder
Yeah.
needs to call flow. So if
Right. Right.
flow is
Flow should
not
already
there,
be there.
yeah, the flow should be
Yeah.
already there, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So let's go to flow. Let me create a new flow. Very important scenario. Click on new flow. This time I'll go with auto launch flow. Create. So I told you that process builder will be sending ID of the record to flow. So there
Yeah.
should be something in the flow to cache that ID, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be creating a variable. From here, click on new resource.
Mm-hmm.
Resource type should be variable.
Mm-hmm.
Name can be record ID. Data type can be text. Available for input, available for output. So this variable will hold the ID of record that I'll send from process builder.
Okay.
So click on done. Now what I want that I want the record to be updated. So I'll use update record, right?
Oh, because
From
the
here,
records are already there. We are just
yeah,
updating it now.
we are just updating, right? Just give some meaningful name, update record, specify condition to identify records. The record is of type patient detail, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what should be the filter criteria? I want to fetch the record where ID equals the ID that is there in the record ID, right?
Yeah.
This ID will come from process builder. And based on that, I want to fetch the entire record. So I am
Right.
defining a condition that where ID equals record ID. Now
Mm-hmm.
I have that entire record and now
Mm-hmm.
I'll update that. So what changes I need to do on the record? I need to set source as direct. So just go through this part, very important. So
Mm-hmm.
I have the ID. So I have this ID. And based on
Right.
that, I need to fetch the entire record.
Mm-hmm.
So once I have the entire record, I can do the changes in the source or other field,
Okay.
right? So any issues in this part?
No.
So just click on done. Just
Mm-hmm.
link this with this and click save. Auto launch 9th of Jan. Save, activate.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll be creating a process builder.
So, Sumit, this auto launch can be used only for updating.
No, it can be done. It can be used for like to do anything. Like, I
Okay.
mean, it's just like I am not directly calling a flow. Record is calling process builder. Process builder is calling flow. The first
Mm.
use case was I was directly calling flow. So
The
this is
flow.
the basic
Okay.
difference. Yeah, this is call flow 9 chan. So object should be patient detail, right? And my record should process builder should be called when the record is created, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click on OK. What should be the criteria? Status is active, right? Search for status
Mm-hmm.
equals active. So if status is active, process builder will be called. It will call the flow. So what should be the action? I need to call flow, right?
Yeah.
Call flow. So my flow is auto launch 9th of Jan, right?
Yeah.
So click on auto launch. This is the name of my flow, right? Auto launch 9th of Jan.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, I need to set the value of record ID, right? The variable that we created, record ID. This will hold the ID and I need to send it from the process builder, right?
Yeah.
So record ID, field reference, record ID. So I am sending the ID of patient detail to this variable. And based on that, I am updating the record in flow. So any issues in understanding the chaining?
Mm.
And click activate. So the same thing that I was doing earlier with the help of flow, now I am doing it with the combination of flow and process builder. So
Process
now
builder.
let's
Yeah.
test this. Test auto launch 9th of Jan, membership ID 1234, status can be active. So source should be set as direct, right?
Yeah.
Click on save. Source is direct.
Direct. Okay.